Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to Durrett's Take. So let's get started. There's a lot to go over today, especially in the NBA. There's been a lot of players that have come out and said that they're going to either that they're thinking about not playing or they're thinking about playing, but with certain reasons. Like it's just a whole mess. As you remember, I said that I wouldn't be surprised if more and more players are deciding they actually want to sit out and not go to Orlando. And that doesn't surprise me. I knew this was going to happen at some point. And it could be for whatever reason, whether it's missing time away from family, health being jeopardized, the Black Lives Matter movement, just like any reason, it doesn't surprise me. But what does surprise me is that I've noticed over the past few weekend or so that there's actually been a few players on championship contenders that are saying they might not play, and that's including like George Hill for the Bucks, or Lou Williams for the Clippers, or Dwight Howard for the Lakers. Because in my mind, that's very interesting that they're considering not playing because they actually have legit shots to win a championship. For me personally, I'm not going to judge if a person plays or doesn't play in Orlando for whatever reason. It's up to them and their families are grown man. They can make their own decisions. Some people um, may feel that this is a wash season anyways, so it wouldn't surprise me if some players feel the same way. But if I'm a leader on a championship contender, so like LeBron for the Lakers, Kawhi for the Clippers, or Giannis for the Bucks, I would sit down with all the players who are considering potentially sitting out and discuss with them, try to find basically a balance or solution or something, so that way they can try to stay on with the team and you can go risk and take it all and try to bring home a championship versus just giving up. Um, but because like in my opinion, like a championship is worth a lot in my opinion, and it doesn't come around often. Now Clippers are going to be chicken contenders for the long haul. Same with the Bucks if Giannis stays and doesn't leave free agency in 2021. If but for example for like LeBron, it's like he only has so many more years in the tank, so he needs all of his players on board playing. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like within the next month and a half, which players kind of change their tune or which players get like more and more from they're not going to play or something. It'll be kind of interesting to figure all that out. It'll be a tricky situation again for the NBA to kind of do, but because of with everything that's going on, again, it's just going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Because in my mind, even though I feel like there's a few more players who are going to speak out or may even sit out, like it would be interesting to see, okay, who are those players going to be and what's going to be the consequence of that, what's going to happen with everything. Okay, so now moving on. Because of roster spots, it most likely could be open for whether a player decides not to play or a team already had an open roster to begin with, or a player gets quarantined and has to sit out. Either way you dice them, some teams may have roster spots open. So in that case, some teams may be looking at players to try to bring in to help them with that championship run. And in my mind, there's still quality, valuable free agents in the current market right now. And I want to go over my top 10 current NBA free agent list. I'll go ahead and go over my top 5 honorable mentions first. One of the honorable mentions is Greg Monroe. So Monroe has some playoff experience, and with the few limited minutes he had in the playoffs last year when he was with the 76ers, he performed in my opinion, pretty well. So I feel like he can contribute for a team that needs size and stuff like that. He was like very like on the borderline of making that top 10 list, but I just put him slightly top 10, just because like wings and guards are a lot more valuable in my opinion than big guys, especially for like the Lakers and Bucks who already have the size and depth. Um, Another option is Jeremy Lin. Now, I'm not sure if he's with the China team or not. He might be. If so, he may to get his contract finally. That may have to figure something out. But if China doesn't play, that helps all the better. But he can easily come in for a few minutes and be a point guard for a championship team. He was with it for Toronto last season. He's an underrated leader in my opinion. So he can bring out leadership to a team. And now, if you're requiring him to be like um, a second string point guard, then that's not going to be good. But if it's a third string point guard, come in maybe 5 minutes at the most per game and give something that I feel like he could perform that just fine. Another one is Kenneth Faried. So this guy has kind of lost his weight recently, but he's a good energy guy, rebounder guy. He can bring something to a team. Now, he's not as good as the other big men on my top 10 list, hence that's why he's not on the list. But again, he can still contribute. He's still an option for some teams. I'm surprised if some teams gave him a look. Another one is Pau Gasol. Now, this one would all depend on if he's 100% healthy, because he's not the type of player where if he's not 100% healthy, he could perform, because he's kind of very old and not as a good a player as he once was. So he needs to be kind of like 100% healthy in order for teams to even take a look at him. But if he is, then I feel like, again, he can be an value addition to a team. But again, I wouldn't trust him to be healthy given his recent history. And then lastly is Michael Beasley. Now this one is a big wild card, because one night he can go 8 for 9 and get you 20 points. Another night he can go 0 for 10. It's just his inconsistency is the reason why he's not in top 10. But again, it's a good wild card chance for a team to take if they want to take a chance on him. It wouldn't surprise me if the team does. So now let's go over to my top 10 list. So number 10 is Corey Brewer. While Brewer may be old and stuff like that, he can still knock down some wide open 3-pointers and play some solid defense for an older guy. I feel like he can contribute in some way. Number 9 is Joe Johnson. And the only reason why he's not higher on this list is because he's very old. I believe he's in his 40s already. But and his defense will be a liability. But he can still get his own bucket. He's still good at that. And then in a clutch situation, he can still get you clutch buckets. Now, whether you decide to use him in clutch situations, that's up to the team. But even if you have like LeBron out there, and you know he's going to take the winning shot, but you have Joe Johnson out there as well. Well, the defense has to consider, well, yeah, I might probably go to LeBron or something, but we can't count out Joe Johnson taking that clutch shot because we know he can do it and make it still. So that's an interesting dynamic and extra valuable piece for a team to have, and I hope teams take a look at him. He got a training camp invite for the Detroit Pistons, but it didn't last long. But hopefully he gets a real serious look, because I feel like he'd be an invaluable asset to the team. Number 8 is Andrew Bogut. Now, he has championship experience with the Warriors, and I feel like he can easily contribute to a team. Like, imagine if he were to go to Clippers, because Clippers, they have Zubac and Montrezl Harrell, but other than that, they don't really have much size. But Bogut, he can be a perfect guy to just be an extra body, basically. And it's not just an extra body, but an extra body that's like super tall, that can rebound, can block shots. He can do a whole bunch of different stuff to help out a team. 7 is Joakim Noah. Now, you can kind of go back and forth on this one, but I feel like Joakim Noah is just slightly higher because I feel like he can do a little bit more on the defensive end, and he definitely brings a lot more of that energy and fire to the team, and can get you some baskets. Now, he's not the Joakim Noah old, but like if he can still contribute at least something to the team, in my opinion. But he's not the best big guy, though, as I'll explain later who that is, in my opinion. But 6 is Iman Shumpert. Now, a lot of people have probably forgot about him and are not on people's radar, but he should be. Think about it. An athletic wing who can play defense while making some baskets in the process. That describes Shumpert perfectly. You need a wing who can play defense and make baskets. And so, for example, he'd be perfect fit going to the Lakers and reunite with LeBron. I feel like he would be a valuable asset to that team. Like, just make 2 3-pointers a game and then guard the hardest guy, because while the Lakers have some good defensive players, you just need all the ones you can get, considering the Clippers have a bunch of good defensive players. Same with him going to the Bucks is a possibility. Okay, number 5 is Lance Stevenson. I know he signed with China this past offseason, but again, China's a player. He can still get his contract, and then he can easily go to be back in the NBA, and a team should consider him. He has all that playoff experience. He brings that energy, fire, passion, leadership. And he's one of those players that can get his own basket. So he'd be a really good addition. Whether he's going back to the Lakers or joining another contender like the Bucks or something like that to lead their second unit, like he can be a good guy for that. Now 4 is DeMarcus Cousins. So this is the best big guy in my opinion. And again, this is assuming he's healthy. But it's been a year, or at least a little bit over a year. So I feel like his injury. So I feel like his ACL injury has probably recovered, and he can be able to contribute again. Because you have to remember, even though he wasn't exactly 100% last year in the finals, and he definitely had some off games, the few games that he was on, he was so spectacular, and he's the reason why the Warriors even won 2 games in that series when KD was out the whole time. Especially that game 2 where I think he had like 17 points, 8 rebounds. Like he was just on fire. Like he can be that spark. Like if he were to go to the Clippers, for example, Or if he were to go back to the Lakers, if like Dwight Howard decided he was going to play or something like that, then that would be an excellent addition to the roster, in my opinion. So now for number three. Number three is Isaiah Thomas. Now a lot of people forgot about him, but this guy can easily contribute. He can get his own bucket. He can bring good leadership to a team. He'd be a defensive liability though, but if you can kind of hide that, I feel like the pros outweigh the cons. I feel like he'd be a good addition. So now the top two. So the top two is going to be either Jamal Crawford or J.R. Smith. And in my mind, I would put J.R. Smith at number two. He can get you some 3-point baskets. Let's say he gets you three. If he can make 2 or 3 threes every game per game, then that's going to value addition right there. And then he has that championship experience that he can bring to a team. He just as long as you know what the score is. I kid myself, but as long as you know. But anyways, as long as he knows what the score is, then he should be able to contribute for a team. In my opinion, I feel like he would do a pretty good job. And then Jamal Crawford, in my opinion, is the no-brainer number one. Last we saw him, which I believe was with the Phoenix Suns last year, he was still getting like a two, still pretty good, but like he can easily be the type of guy that gets you 8 points a game coming off the bench and 4 assists per game and a couple rebounds. If he could do all that while coming off the bench, he can easily help a contender. And I feel like he does have a lot of fuel in the tank. I feel like he's not too old and like he can come in and provide a spark. So whoever gets this guy, and in my mind, I feel like someone will get him. It'll be crazy for them not to. Then whoever gets them is going to become instantly better. Now, if he goes to a team like a Memphis, New Orleans, whatever, it's going to yeah, they get instantly better, but not usable. But if he can go to a contender like Lakers or Bucks, or whatever, then bam, they're going to be the favorites in my opinion because he's just that awesome. I'm still surprised that he never got a contract to begin with. And there's a few other players that have retired recently that I would have put on this list, but again, since they themselves retired, that's why I didn't put them on the list. But if they can get someone to come out of retirement, for example, like a Darren Collinson, who was considering coming out of retirement to join the Lakers before deciding to stay, if they can get someone like that to come out, then a team should definitely go that route if they can. And then also the G League is a possibility as well. I mean, you can get some quality guys from the G League. You're not going to get like a Jamal Crawford, J.R. Smith, or DeMarcus Cousins per se, but you can get some G League guy that can still be valuable and still contribute. So again, this is my top 10 list with some honorable mentions I mentioned, and let me know if you agree with the top 10 list. So this is it for today. Please leave comments and let me know what you want me to talk about in the future. Please subscribe to my video, and thank you very much for tuning in today. You all have a wonderful day.